Well, anyway, I'm going to make this video super quick. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Christians Will Never Debate the Israelites Concerning Any of the Prophetic Books of the Bible, of the Scriptures. And that's just a fact right there. They'll argue about whether the Gentiles could be saved outside of Israel, or is Jesus God, which he is God. The Hebrew Israelites say that Jesus is not God. We say that we are gods. Well, our power is taken away. We were gods. Psalms 82:6. So if we're going to say as Israelites that we are gods, certainly our Savior would have to be a God. So stop saying that BS, that pushing that BS that the Hebrew Israelites, or the Israelites, we don't believe that Jesus, I'm going to use that word, Jesus is God. Jesus is God, but he's a God under the God which is his Father. Okay? And the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, dealt with the prophets of the Most High and with the kings by way of the prophets, through the prophets. King David was anointed, King Saul was anointed by Samuel the prophet. King David was anointed by Samuel the prophet to be king. Nathan the prophet was the man that came along after Samuel, went to the spiritual realm. And he was the one that came with prophecies to King David. You had Solomon. You had Solomon's son in Rehoboam. Jeroboam, Ahijah was a prophet that ripped off. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. Let me go see if I can find it. Let me do this. You know what? Let me do it this way. Let me do it easy way. A cheat sheet. Who is the prophet that tore off 12 pieces of... Let's see if it comes up. Okay, Jeroboam. That's what I wanted. Ahijah was the prophet. One day as Jeroboam was leaving Jerusalem, the prophet Ahijah from Shiloh met him along the way. Ahijah was wearing a new cloak. I'm sorry. The two of them were alone in the field, and Ahijah took hold of the new cloak he was wearing and tore it into 12 pieces. Let's go on into that. Let me go this. So in Jeroboam taking the tribes, it was 10 tribes because Dan was there at that time. Let me do this. Just want to try to get to the point. So was Jeroboam wicked? Yes, he was wicked because of the two calves, golden calf from so-called Egypt. But Jeroboam did what he did to fulfill prophecy, because somebody had to get them broken up, the two tribes broken up, so that they can come back together in the last days. I want to try to get and Ahijah caught them, and it came to pass Jeroboam went to Jerusalem, and the prophet Elijah found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and they too were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment So that's Jeroboam that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said, Jeroboam, take the 10 pieces. Now it didn't say 9.5. The other day, Captain Zariak was, I think he was going back and forth with God Logic, and he said 9.5 tribes, and that's what the 7 used to teach. 9.5 tribes, because half of Levi stayed with Jeroboam. No, that's not the case. Go to the Chronicles. I believe it's 2nd Chronicles 30. Matter of fact, I'm positive it is. Where Jeroboam pushed out the expelled the Levites, because the Levites, remember, they were mingled among all of the tribes. So it was no 9.5. It could have been 9.5 tribes in the beginning, but ultimately all Levi went back to the kingdom of Judah. So you had 3 tribes of the kingdom of Judah: Judah, Benjamin, Levi. You had some of the other tribes from the northern kingdom that stayed with Judah, and the rest of them, you know the rest of the story. I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon. Through who? Through Solomon's son. And will give 10 tribes to thee. Ultimately, that led to the prophecy of them coming to the Americas. So anybody that tried to stop this action was fighting against the Most High. Happily be found to fight against the Most High. You can't fight against the prophecies. So that's just a story of the prophets. And these guys, let me come back over here. Where am I? These guys like Wes Huff or Wesley Huff and Puff Huff, God Logic, Vocab Malone, they'll never go into the prophecies. Vocab, when he comes against us, he never said, well, let's go head to head on Revelation chapter 14. Or Revelation, well, he does mention Revelation 7 and 9, which he goes completely off on, which is easily the answer to Revelation 7 and 9 is Revelation 5. The multitude from every kindred, nation, and tongue are Israelites that are scattered. Remember, they were scattered. It was one of the curses, Deuteronomy 28:64. This guy, pretty much, he's a master regurgitator. He went to several theological cemeteries, and he memorized a lot of the stuff that he taught. And basically, you hit him with a question, he's going to go with what he was taught. And then he went against this guy that just a basic black conscience guy, a fast talking used car salesman type. And he met his match when Huff, which Huff does not know the scriptures. Right, Elohim, they would say Elohim. Let's see what that says. I'm not going to play it because you know how YouTube do. Let me see. Right. Wesley Huff gives historical take on the death and resurrection of Jesus. Now you look at this, right? You can see he looks like a so-called white man. So if he did so much deep study, he would realize that, wait a minute, the Messiah would have to be black. And I know he's not going to say that, agree with us that the Messiah is a so-called black man. He's not going to agree to that. He'll go into the Gentiles shall be saved, the Jews first and also the Greeks. He'll go into that all day long, but he'll never any but scriptures. And when I say that, I'm talking about Daniel 7, Daniel 2, Isaiah 34, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 13. Joel 2, Joel 3, Jeremiah 49, 50, 51. Any of the books of Revelation. He can probably deal with some of the books of Revelation, but he'll be stuck if he attempted to break down Revelation chapter 12. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me just do this. So just keep in mind, they need us, we don't need them. Okay? Say that again. They need us, we don't need them. So if they need us, they got to go by our rules. If they don't like it, they can move on. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need to have a discussion or a debate with Wesley Huff. Where did I say I was going to go? Revelation 12. We all know Revelation 12, backwards, forwards, and upside down, inside out. Let's just see what they say. You talking about the beast in Revelation 13 or whatever, Daniel chapter 7. They'll scratch their head on it. They don't know. They do not know. Okay, so now let me come over here. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. When the King's commandment, beginning with these words and extended. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Pretty long. All right. The woman with the man child. Now, the Roman Catholics say, oh, that's talking about the Roman Catholic Church. A great wonder should be signed as in the margin, both here and in Revelation 12 and 3. A woman, who is this? The two answers most commonly given are the Virgin Mary, which that's wrong. That's a Roman Catholic BS. And 2, the church. Well, the church is Acts 7. The church are the Israelites. Let me see if I can find that. Acts 7, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not Acts 7, it's Acts 7. Acts 7. Acts 7, and I believe it's the 43rd verse. Or thereabouts. Let me put 45. Okay, let me put in the word church. It's 38. I started 37. This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, a prophet shall Yahweh, your power, your God, raise up unto you, which is the son of Yahweh, of your brethren. He's going to be one of the Israelites, like unto me, him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness. So did they have a church in the wilderness? No. The church are the Israelites. So Yahushua was with them in the midst. Remember, you had the cloud, a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Yahushua was in the midst of us. The rock represents Yahushua. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 10. The wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. So the church are the Israelites. So right here it says the church. Right. You're right if you say it's the Israelites. Pursuant to Acts 7:38. Neither seems quite satisfactory. So they're saying, that ain't Mary, and that's not the church. Which vocab would say that's the body of believers. Well, the body of believers are Israelites. In order to qualify to be a part of the body of believers, you have to be an Israelite. In order for you to say that you're a Christian, like Anton Daniel says he's a Christian, but he'll say, are you an Israelite? No. You can't be a Christian unless you're an Israel. To qualify to be a Christian, you have to be an Israelite first. There can indeed be little doubt that the son born, give me a second, the son born of this woman is the son of Mary, not or theologically or ecclesiastical considerations to exclude that the view that Mary is herself intended by the mother. Now, actually, the actual boy the baby boy is Yahushua, but the woman represents Israel, likened unto a woman. The glory ascribed to her in no greater than that of a glorified saint. And John, let me do this. And John was not bound to suppress a truth for fear of the false, blah, 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 blah. Let me come down here. Who then or what is a typical or mystical mother of Christ? This is a Roman Catholic BS. Not the Christian church, which in this book is elsewhere is represented as his wife, but the Jewish church, the Israelites. The ideal Israel, the daughter of Zion, right, the daughter of Zion, daughter, singular, is talking about the Israelite as a nation. When it says daughters of Zion, then it's talking about the woman of Zion. Sometimes when it says the daughters of Zion, it's talking about all of Israel. But if it says the daughter of Zion, it's talking about Israelite men, women, and children. See, especially, okay, this is Micah 4:10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, which are the Israelites, like a woman is in travail. The travail was the Herod having his men of war hack and kill the babies 2 years old and under, the boy babies. It didn't say boy or girl, but they were boys. They knew that the Messiah was not going to come out as a woman. For now shall you, and that's worse than, and that's not, they said the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be far worse than that. Can you imagine troops coming into your house and taking babies that are under, how old is this boy? He's 1.5. Chop him up. Can you imagine that? It says, you go forth out of the city, and you shall dwell in the field. The city represents Jerusalem, 70 AD, and you shall go even to Babylon. This Babylon is talking about America. The field represents Africa, or where you were scattered. Shall you be delivered there? Shall you be delivered? There Yahweh shall redeem you from the hand of your enemies. So when is that going to come to pass? That's getting ready to come to pass. Who's on the top of the list, the top of your enemy list? Esau. So they're telling you that woman represents the Israelites. If the Roman Catholics are wrong, it's not talking about the church, the body of believers. It's talking about national Israel. And this is a beautiful precept right here. First time I heard this, I read through it, but never got all into it. The first time I heard this was from the head of Sakari. Then the second time I came across it was actually this commentary. So I heard it a couple of times, and one time I was going into Revelation 12, and I said, and I remembered this precept, right? See, we give credit where credit is due, you know? Where does any do all of you guys do that? Where it is her travail from which he is to be born, who is born in Bethlehem. This account for the only features that support the other view, the appearance in her glory of the sun, moon, and the stars, Song of Solomon 6 and 10. Who is she that looks forth as the morning fair, is the moon clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? And the mention of the remnant of her seed, Revelation, which are the Israelites. Anyway, this is all prophetic, and this is something that Wes Huff or Vocab Malone or God Logic or Dr. James White the Edomite couldn't answer. If you notice, Vocab started messing with us in 2016. So this is 9 years, and he's never challenged us on any of the prophetic scriptures. Recently, he's been going into, and we're going to go into Revelation 13 wrong. We're going to break down Daniel chapter 7 wrong, Daniel chapter 2 wrong. You don't know you got part of it right, because that's common knowledge. The head of gold is the Babylonians. The lion with the eagle's wings that stood upon his feet, and a man's heart was given to. That's like I said, the Babylonians. Then you got the Medo-Persians and Greeks, and then the Romans. This is, if you ask them, is this Rome all over again? The answer would be yes, but they don't know. They're not going to tell you that. And I keep bringing this up about the prophecies, man. My focus is on these prophecies because the last few prophecies are coming to pass. Why do you think we keep bringing up the mark of the beast? Because that's one major prophecy. Really, there's what, 4 prophecies left? The mark, the destruction, the deliverance, and the kingdom. There's 4 prophecies left. 4 major prophecies. And I can't wait till this first one comes, which is the mark of the beast. Because once the mark of the beast, once that is fulfilled, then everything going to move quick. You're going to be tested. A lot of you guys are going to fail, and you're going to realize you had to go through this tribulation for about a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 weeks or so, and you failed the test, so you ain't going to make it. The ones of us that endured, let's say this man I personally believe that once they make this chip mandatory and the majority of the people around the world receive that chip, then we'll be out of here in a matter of months. And when I say months, a month and a half, 2 months, that's just my view. We ain't gonna be walking around with the chip, people with the chip, for the next 10 years. And none of you camps know it except for Sakari and Genesis. The other major camps, ISUPK, IUIC, they don't know it, man. And the bishop, he knows that that's the mark of the beast, but he's going to look like a fool if he said, I said many years ago that the mark is sin in all of its forms, and I was wrong, and these bums kept getting on me. When they make this thing mandatory, one of the first videos I'm gonna go to is Bishop Nate, just to see how he slithers his way out of it, like he always does. Anyway, so that's all I'm gonna say. I went into the prophets, the importance of the prophets. The prophets are me and Lahab, Elder Lahab, Priest Lahab. We had an argument. He said, "No, the king is." I said, "Look, Lahab. The prophet is over all of them, man." I said, the prophet tells the king what to do. The prophet tells other Israelites, the priests, what to do. The prophet is the highest man, like Orson Welles said in the opening scene of the late great Planet Earth. He spoke about the prophets. He said one thing that the Israelite had that was unique that other nations didn't have, well, they had prophets. Orson Welles said, and the prophet was God's man. I remember that when I first saw it as a youngster. I was a teenager. I saw that movie. I went into the theaters because I was always into the scriptures. He said, and the prophet is God's man. Now, why did I make the statement title of the video, the title for this video, why they say none of these Christians deal with Jewish prophecies, because they're not prophets. In order for you to understand the prophecies, you have to be a prophet first. You have to be an Israelite, and not only an Israelite, you have to be a prophet, an elect, chosen man of the Most High. And that's all I'm going to say with that. Where you at, West Huff? Where you at, God Logic? You know, where you at, you Christians out there? You never go into it. You'll never deal with us when it comes to the prophecy, the prophetic parts of the scriptures. Shalom.